Tina, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited. I love Okotoks.
Yes, and we're glad that you love Okotoks. Now we're not gonna tell everybody, but you don't live in Okotoks right now, but that's okay. But you love Okotoks, so that's our common bond, I guess.
And people want
Yeah,
me to keep it a secret that I love going out there. They want
absolutely.
that little treasure to be a secret.
I know we want the Costco to remain not as busy. Like we're we're
Great.
we're certainly good. I try to stay away from Costco. Um, Obviously the Okotoks Costco on the weekends and a few evenings encroaching on the weekends because evenings and weekends can get really busy with those Calgary people.
Of course.
But
And I was going to say that's when I come, evenings and weekends.
yeah, absolutely. That's when Calgary invades our Costco. But I was kind of mentioning that to a cashier at Costco one day, and she corrected me. She says, "Well, if it wasn't for the Calgary people, Okotoks wouldn't have a Costco because it is, Calgary people coming down, and there's not enough population in Okotoks and area to support a Costco. But no doubt they put it here based on Calgary." Coming down on evenings and weekends to help
Mhm.
support the Okotoks Costco.
Of course.
Yes. So, well, you have been, I think, well, you are the closest to royalty that I've had on my podcast because you are known as the Costco Queen. Now, how on earth did you become the Costco Queen?
I think a reporter actually dubbed me the Costco Queen in an article that I was surprised to see. And so I think it stuck, but it's
Right.
been fun.
Absolutely. So how did this all get started? Like you have a major following on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. No doubt you have a YouTube page as well. Is there other platforms I don't know?
Uh,
Snapchat?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah.
During COVID, like back in the day, do you remember the phone line 411 that you called to get information? Flip
Yes.
phone. So I was called 411 in high school because I knew where the parties were. I knew the information, and my mom has always known the deal. And so if people need information, because I love spreadsheets and I love digging deep and finding out information. So during COVID, I was going to Costco and posting pictures, but friends encouraged me to start a group. And so I did. And we thought it would just be for our inner circle. And so we were taking turns helping each other buy ground beef and sharing, because everybody didn't need to buy ground beef, but we would buy it and share it or tell each other when it was there. And I'm not even sure why ground beef was what we all wanted during COVID, and toilet paper. So I
Toilet
started a
paper.
group,
Yes.
and it just kept growing and growing. And then a millennial said, "You should do videos on Instagram and TikTok." I said, "Well, I don't know how to do that." So she stepped in and helped create those. And they just kind of organically kept growing, to my surprise, because this is really something that I like to share with people. I like to share the information. And when I walk the aisles of Costco, I've begun to realize it's my mental health. I go for a walk and I clear my head and I don't think about life, my career, anything but a Wuzu fan that's on the shelf or whatever new they have. And I love seeing the staff. They've become people that I love and admire for what they do, working with the general public every day. And so it organically grew that way.
Right. And there's no way that you are not affiliated with Costco
Not at
at
all.
all. You
Nothing.
don't
I don't have a membership. I'm not affiliated with them on any of the social media channels. I don't even have any family that work at Costco, although I want them to.
Yes, absolutely. So what is it about Costco? Like it seems like you would never get this kind of following for a Walmart or a Canadian Tire or, a grocery store. What is it about it's basically they call it a cult following, but what is why do you think that is?
I think because, well, first of all, you're a member. So when you become a member of something, you have that sense of community and trust because you're paying to go there versus just walking in whenever you want to. And you're shopping with a community of people that have all feel the same way about the quality and value and the experience of going into Costco. So I think that's what it is. And just the way they've curated and laid out the store. And once people realize they have everything there. I have friends who said, what? They have stationery? What? They have kitchen, electronics, tires, optical hearing aid, like all of those. And the whole family can go. You've got fun having samples. There's just so much to see, that it became a bit of a cult, I guess. And
Yeah.
value. Where else can you buy things for the price that you can get at Costco?
Yeah, you really can, especially for and you're right, it's the quality, because every item that they have is gone through some pretty rigorous testing. I remember just watching, I think it was a whole entire documentary on the toilet paper of Costco and the things that they do, the hoops that the hoops that they jump through. That might be an inappropriate thing to say, but the hoops that they jump through to push the toilet paper through to get it on the shelves, and what kind of quality it needs to be. And that's just toilet paper, let alone everything else that comes through their doors. And I guess the one thing about Costco is there's only room for 4,000
SKUs, item
SKUs.
numbers,
So they have to keep that moving. They bring in new products, and then something has to go once they
Yeah.
bring in a new product, right?
They keep it tight. And I had read on the history of Costco, it was about pushing the retailers for value and to be competitive and lowering that price. So I think that nothing's changed since the very beginning of when they started the company, that it's about the value. So
Right.
membership fees help to keep those prices down. But I think it's also great for the overall space, because they have created that price point that others have to compete to stay in line with. But I still like the amount. I'd rather go buy bulk at Costco and give 2 away than go somewhere else.
Right. Right. So what was the intent? Like when Costco first started, I don't think it was supposed to be a store that was being marketed to the average person. Wasn't it going to be marketed to business owners and buying in bulk? So you go buy your sugars and flour and all that stuff, and you go and you make it yourself or whatever. But then it kind of evolved, I guess, where almost
Yes.
everybody then wants a Costco membership and wants to get in. Was that the start of Costco?
Well, I learned recently on my trip to San Diego, there's the location called Morena, and it was an airplane hangar, Hugh Hefner's airplane hangar. And I believe Price Club started there. And then Jim Senegal started his version of Costco in Seattle, but he added more items, and then they came together and it became Costco. But the membership was, I think, the driving catalyst to lower those fees.
Right.
Or sorry,
Right.
lower the prices, because
Right,
they
for
had the
sure.
fees coming in the door first. I mean, $4.8 billion in membership fees come through the door for Costco. So that's got to help the bottom line on being competitive for pricing.
Right. And yeah, the way that their marketing plan, they're opening new stores every year, like X amount of stores. Right now, I think Canada has 108 stores.
Yep. Yep.
And Alberta's at 20. Now, are they talking about new stores for Calgary and area?
So there's been rumors for Calgary. There is the one by Callaway Park. So I haven't gotten updates on them, because there's always so many rumors. I just let those things fly until there's actual definitive answers. But so there's rumors of the one by Callaway Park that's been ongoing. There's also rumors that one will open by closer to the airport, and then Sunridge will become a business center. Now, Sunridge was supposed to become a business center years ago before Edmonton opened. That was also the rumor that we would have one.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still nothing that I've seen concrete. But that's what I've heard is happening. And Sunridge already, if you go there, they already have the bulk candy that the business centers have.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you know which Costco in Calgary and area is the busiest? That might be a bit of a trick question, throwing that.
Well, it used to be Heritage, but I would say Taza,
yeah.
the new one on the
Okay.
Tsuut'ina First Nation, is giving them a run for their money. But Beacon Hills is also so busy, one of the originals, and small.
Right.
So I would say those 3.
Yeah, that Heritage one before the other ones opened up was just, I would just come near that Wendy's and I'm like, there's no way I'm going in there. That looks nuts, right? Like that's, especially being spoiled, being from Okotoks.
You know what I have to tell you? Calgary people have no idea what busy is until you go to Toronto.
Really?
So I could not believe how busy it was there when I walked into the stores there. I just said the busiest day at Heritage is nothing like going out east because of the amount of people.
Really? Okay. So I guess we're a little bit spoiled because it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
No. Well,
And you know what? It goes in ebbs and flows. Like you might see, sometimes somebody will post, and we don't typically do it, but they'll post like a huge lineup that goes to the back of the store. But that's because something happened where, a customer was confused with, self checkout versus the other lanes. And within like 2 minutes, it's opened up. So, but Toronto, it is crazy, the aisles and the amount of product that's moved in those warehouses. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but I can tell by walking in that there's a lot of people, a lot of
right,
people.
right. Um, I hear that the Honolulu one is the busiest. It's consistently ranked number one for sales and volume. Is that what you hear as well?
Yeah, it is quite busy. And I can see that because in Hawaii, they live with their families, their ohanas, and, will buy more. And I love it there. I love visiting Costco when I travel, and people think I'm crazy. But, if you're staying somewhere with a condo, why wouldn't you go to Costco and load up?
Yes.
And there's,
Yeah.
the macadamia nuts, the chocolates, the Caramax, everything you would see somewhere else or down on Waikiki Beach, you can get at Costco. You
Yeah.
need your towels, your scuba gear.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy. Well, maybe people think we're crazy because I do the same thing. If I'm
Yeah.
traveling and there's a Costco, I'm like, oh, I want to go check it out. And yeah, you want to see what's different, what they do have, because their product isn't the same right across the board, right? I like walking into the American ones because it's interesting to see them selling liquor in the general store as opposed to having a little area to go buy your alcohol, right? So yeah, there's
And
so
I
many.
went to Iceland, and that was really neat and super amazing experience too in Iceland.
How much were the hot dogs there?
They were about a little bit more, $1 more. The economy in Iceland is crazy. So the El Paso bag of nacho chips was $18 there, equivalent to 18. But if you
Really?
went elsewhere, it would be double that. So the Costco pricing is in line with what is there, but Iceland is very expensive. But seeing all the neat foods and the brands and everything there, and
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and they'd have to ship everything in, I guess, and that's probably part of the reason why the cost would go up in Iceland. So you say that your favorite Costco in the area is which one again?
Okotoks.
It is the Okotoks one, yes, and
Well,
no,
no, I love them all for
for
different
sure. Yeah,
reasons.
you got to be
So,
politically correct, but
no, I do love them all for different reasons. Beacon is, it depends on the day when I can go there, but Cross Iron is nice and calm, like Okotoks as well. But the vibe of Okotoks being like a small town, everybody's so friendly. It's like a little secret getaway over there.
yeah, the parking's not as crazy. There's so
Yeah.
many great things. Absolutely. Do you have any insider tips and little things that the average person might not know about Costco? Do you have anything that you might be able to share with us as to insider trading things that are going on and all those things, so we can?
Do insider trading things. But some tips, I think a lot of people have learned that when you read the price sign, that will give you some tips. If there's a little asterisk in the top corner, which which is in Costco world lingo, is the star of death, or what the cult people call it, or it ends in 0.97. That's when you really need to buy something, because that means it's basically out of season, out of stock forever, or potentially sometimes they're changing packaging, and that is that's it. If you don't pick it up, you're not going to see it. And if you see something, we call it in our group the Black Manager Sharpie Markdown. That is like absolute clearance price, and that is out the door. I think people forget that Costco has an amazing price adjustment policy. So if something goes on sale within 30 days and you're in the warehouse and the product is there, you don't need to have your receipt. It makes it easier if you have your receipt, but you can go get that price adjustment at member services. So that's great. The app, I love the app.
Do you? That's something I don't use. I
Oh,
don't know
I
why.
love the app. Your membership is on the app, and in the US, they've got their credit card on it, so similar to Starbucks. I don't know how it works because I'm not a US Costco member, but I don't even have my card anymore because you can tap at the gas station and you can scan it in the store. But all your receipts for the warehouse are on there and online. They've got social media special app coupons and Instagram. So they launched Instagram and it took off. I think their social media team has done an amazing job. And if people want to see what's coming, they do show sneak peeks of what's coming. They feature some of the brands that are there that you might not have seen faster than I can. And they have been launching special social media, Instagram only coupons. So for the long weekend, there was one for cotton pads that was $6 off. Now that's 30% off, which is already you get 8 packs for $18.99. Who wouldn't want them for $6 off? When I was in Toronto, my best friend's like, I already have a ton, but maybe I should buy more. I'm like, yes, you should.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep it stocked up. I know. Well, there was one time I was touring a house with a potential client. He was showing me around his house, and I couldn't believe the amount of toilet paper. This guy must have like stocked up right after COVID and maybe went a little bit overboard, thinking, oh, we're on a shortage, so I'm going to try to make some money here. And he probably had about 35 Costco Kirkland sized toilet, what are they called, packages. And I think he was hoping to make some money during the COVID days, but I think he invested poorly that day.
Well,
Yeah.
I am not going to lie, but it's been my whole life. My aunt had taught me to buy toilet paper, paper towels, like when it's on sale. And so it's my back stock downstairs. And I'll just, when it gets half empty, it gets refilled.
Now, Tina, I guess maybe I've lived with my head in the sand a little bit and not really playing the field, so to speak. But is it true that there's something called Singles Tuesday? Yes.
So he was away. Singles Tuesdays got brought up again. So I said, okay, well, why don't we organize that for you? Tuesdays, you guys can meet in the food court and see what's happening. He's been on vacation this summer, so it hasn't taken his baby. And if he wants to organize that, I think if you guys love Costco, why not come together and hang out at Costco and see what friendships can be made? There's people who've made friends. Like I've made friends at Costco, even through people will say, how are you friends with that person? I'm like, oh, I met them through Costco Lovers.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, I think everybody feels like they know you, Tina, though. That's the thing. Like it's just, and it's the power of social media and what you're doing and how good you are and how personable you are. Like honestly, before it felt like I knew you because of the content that I'm seeing you do. And sometimes I get a little mad at you though, Tina, because you post, I'm planning on going to Costco and I have my day all set up, but then Tina posts something that, hey, look what's in. I'm like, oh, I better get there before everybody else gets there now, because if I don't get there, it's gonna be gone. And it's Tina's fault.
Just want the information. What is it? How much is it? What does it look like? And sometimes I'll be like, shoot, no, I want to buy that.
Right. I know.
So I blame you guys too, because showing you things makes me buy things as well.
Right. I couldn't work at Costco because I don't know. I think I'd probably, by the end of the month, every 2 weeks or whatever, I'd probably end up owing them a little bit of money before, with seeing all these things come through the till and just like, oh, that looks great and all that stuff. Now, Costco has a crazy return policy. like sometimes a little bit ridiculous, and to the point where it feels like maybe people are abusing it. Like, right around January 5th or 6th, you see people returning Christmas trees, and you see people returning, half-eaten birthday cakes. Oh, it wasn't that good, and they still got it on their lips, the icing. Like, you can return your membership. What do you? Is that right? Okay.
You. So they tell, and she's like in love with her card and has no idea why she hasn't been an executive her whole life.
Right. So really, like, you won't be seen with people if they're not executive Costco members. Wow.
Just think, if you're doing the office buying or you're picking up things for friends or you're buying that much for yourself, you really need to look at the value of the executive membership because it is worth it. You make,
Yes.
even if you break even and you make back your membership, I think it's worth it. You get the extra executive member coupons like savings when those come out. So then you get the magazine, the Costco Connection that I love. One.
Absolutely. Now, what are the items that they lure you with? They suck you in. Like, I know that rotisserie chicken is one that I've heard that they lose money on. I don't know if that's true, but they lose money on, but they suck you in because I'm just going to go buy a rotisserie chicken that what is $7.99? $7.99 in Canada.
Chicken. I would also say the hot dog.
Hot dogs, yeah. The Polish sausage ones are
so good, and I wish they would bring that chicken bake back to Canada. And they have a Caesar salad in the U.S. now that is so good.
Oh, really?
It's got the rotisserie chicken in it, and I was so surprised when I had it. I was like, this is so good.
Yeah, they have churros in the States. They also have ice cream, but the ice cream is nowhere near as good as our ice cream in Canada.
No, and they have these slushy things that I wasn't a big fan of down there, but
I miss the chicken wings at the food court.
Oh, I know. The chicken wings were good, but I think I'm not sure if they just like to switch things up, or maybe we had a chicken wing shortage.
Right.
They couldn't keep up with the chicken wings.
Yeah. How do you feel about them switching to Coke products in the food court? Come on, really?
Yeah, I am a Coke girl. My only thing is I wish root beer was on.
Right.
So I'm not a Pepsi person. I drank the iced tea, but I wish I was so excited. But I know there's a huge divide on that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is, it's such a, like, Costco gets into your head too, right? Like, you're shopping. There's two things that, sorry, bumped my mic there. Two things that kind of, tick me off a little bit about Costco. You go shopping there and you can't really, if you see something that looks good, you're like, no, I'm just going to think about it. And then you think about it, then you go back and it's gone by the time you think about it, right? So you got to get it. And then it gets into your head about the return policy, just like, oh, I'm going to buy this because and then I can think about it and I'm going to put it in my garage and I'm not going to unpack it until, I've had time to think about it because I can always return it, right? And then it typically ends up getting placed into use, right? So they
week or two, it will return. You know what happens when you walk in and you return something? You go, maybe I need some milk, or I should go look around. And then you end up spending more than you've returned.
Yes, I know. It is crazy. Yeah, you just think there's been a few times that I've popped in there and stuck to my list, but typically. So here's the other thing, Tina, is okay, for example, looking for garbage bags. You know where they've put garbage bags. It feels like they put garbage bags there for 10, 15 years. And then you go exactly where you think the garbage bags are. And then all of a sudden it's dog food. Well, where are the garbage bags? Well, it's down by the bakery, right? So they force you to wander through the store, right? Sometimes looking for things. They do. And it works, right? The other thing that I find interesting is certain things that are seasonal. Did you know that Cheese Whiz is seasonal at Costco?
Cheese Whiz is seasonal. Things are seasonal. Like the cranberry that people like is at Christmas. So there are quite a few seasonal things. So then I might have to stop.
Right. Yeah.
I have like FOMO that they're going to take it away.
Yes. Yeah. No, for sure. No, is there any item that you wish that they'd bring back that they have taken away? Anything you can think of?
Most of my items have stayed in the warehouse. So I'm pretty happy. I know there are these mini tacos that people really want back at one point. But I think it's like short-term memory. Then I find my next favorite thing and I
right.
move on
Then
to
you
that
leave
one.
out. Yeah. See, I'm still. I was on the keto diet, carnivore diet, so really trying to keep the carbs down. And they had the wisps that they used to bring in.
Oh,
Those little.
those were
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, they're really
Like
good.
hell of a dip. I am angry about hell of a dip.
What? They got rid of that?
I can't find it. And they said East Hills had it, and I haven't been to East. Like I forgot when I went to East
You better
Hills.
come to Okotoks. You better come to Okotoks.
Okay,
Okotoks. Oh, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody else to come. No, like I think I just bought some there like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well I'm gonna check. And
I will check.
Get my copy of my Western Wheel.
Yes, yeah, they'll print one off. That thing. Once you make the Western Wheel, you've made it. I know. You know what? I've made it. I guess. No, I'm joking. No, the Western Wheel is a great paper, great organization. Obviously, you see the power of the Western Wheel, right? Because things have blown up again for you with all the. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned certain departments that people may not know about. What are some of those departments that you are at the top of your mind?
Glasses, like the selection of kids' glasses. They also have transitions, and they flip so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All the brand names of the sunglasses as well as the glasses that they've got there is, quite amazing. Like designer brands. I think people also miss, the boards when you're walking out of a Costco, all the installation services. There's floor installation, there's HVAC, there's window treatments, and then there's insurance. And a lot of people talk about the pet insurance through Costco.
Right. Yeah, I believe we have one of our dogs under the Costco pet insurance. Now, what about? Do you know much about the car insurance? Is it?
I'm familiar with the car insurance.
No,
but we should look into it.
I am going to be looking into that very soon because my daughter's going to start driving here soon, and we're probably going to get dinged with some insurance.
Yes,
so
it's
yeah,
heavy, but I've got a secret for you on that. We can talk about later.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we won't be. It sounds like we shouldn't be recording that. So that sounds amazing. So.
And then travel. Like I have been renting my cars through Costco, and I was in Ottawa last week for the women's rugby game, which was amazing, Canada versus US, and I couldn't find a car anywhere, and I went to Costco, and then there was a situation where they rented the car for me for 2 p.m. and I called the Costco line, and I had the car for 7 a.m. Different drop-off location, easy. Everything's on my Costco membership. I get rewards, and it was cheaper.
Is that right? Yeah. No, that's phenomenal. Tina, I don't know why Costco doesn't hire you on as being the promo girl, but the thing is if Costco was to do that, I think your platform wouldn't be as strong because they're like, oh, she's just paid to do that. She's forced to do that. But because you have this natural love for, can we call it a love for Costco that is infectious? And yeah, no, absolutely.
I get to decide when I want to go in there, how long I want to spend in there. If I'm grocery shopping and I want to take pictures as well. And like I said, it's when some people say, why do you do it? I wonder, why do you go ride your bike for 20 kilometers and train for Ironman? I'd
Yeah.
rather go to Costco. Everyone has their thing. And like I said, I can wander. I can talk to the staff who are like so amazing. There's so
Yes.
many great people there I wouldn't have met with just my, downtown career. And it teaches you a lot about the community and the world. And sometimes I'm at the age where when people say I'm famous, I get really just nervous about that because I'm just doing what I love. But it has made me realize when someone has come up to me and said, I helped get them through COVID or I helped them through the anxiety, it does mean a lot to me and helps me with like my self love
Mm-hmm.
of who I am and what I am giving back because I sometimes don't realize what I'm doing.
Absolutely. No, it is very important. And you see your following and the way people comment and post and they get excited and then they help each other out on your page
Yeah.
too. They're like, hey, I'm headed to East Hills and Tina said that they have these and someone says, oh, can you pick some up? And these people don't know each other. They're just doing it and then they're making an arrangement to make payments and meet up and away you go,
Like
right?
we
Like
say,
it's
as long as you're safe and you have fun. And I have so much fun with my friends, like girlfriends now. We go to Costco and then we'll
yeah,
do videos. And,
yeah,
I've got some friends who are so nervous. And then we come up with something. I went with two friends, Jen and Shatali, and we just laughed how different we are at shopping. Jen has a list. She sticks to the list. She doesn't deviate from the list. But she walks in and she goes straight and goes to the snacks first. I'm like, no, no, we have to go straight down this aisle and do it aisle by aisle. And then Shatali is so funny because she tries to have a list and then she gets so excited about everything in there that she loses a little bit of control.
right.
And so we did a little skit on that. Trying on the clothes with friends is fun. And in Okotoks, we had amazing Costco lovers who, sure, she said, I'll try on clothes with you. Why
Yeah.
not? This is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and you're right. Like I have a certain route that I go, and sometimes jokingly, I get mad at my wife because she goes a different way. I'm like, you're stressing me out, like you're throwing me off. Like I have to
Yeah,
go this certain route, and you know what? Some
literally.
Costco's are set up. I like the way that the Costco one is set up. I think the one in East Hills. I don't know if I like the way that one's set up because it feels like, and you
You
correct
think
me
it's
if I'm,
backwards.
yeah, and like everybody's like kind of doesn't know which way to go because I think we're all kind of left-handed, kind of stay to the left and work around, and that's what we're used to. But that one, it seems like everybody's going in a certain direction. They're not following the path.
Well, then you should go to Beacon because Beacon is free for all. Like
Is
it
that
is,
right?
there is
Yeah.
no try. It is every which way. It's survival of the fittest, is what I say. It is
Yeah.
like the Amazing Race. The door opens and they go.
Yeah.
But and if you find me at Costco and you see me walk in the door, you pretty much know. Like I go up and down the side aisles and then around the back. And I leave clothing till last, but I'm learning to do clothing first because my trick about the videos is if a Costco is in their lingo showtime ready, our Costco's open at 9 a.m. But if they're showtime ready, they open at 8:30, which is a secret. But a lot of people know that, so there isn't a lineup at 8:30 because if they don't, they might open at 8:40. But they do open early, and to get open that early, it is amazing what that night crew, or I guess they call them the morning crew, have to do. But then I'll go to clothing first because it looks
Right.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, it's something the way that they've marketed it, right? And it's a thing that if my wife asked me to go to the grocery store, I'm kind of like, oh, grocery store. But if she asked me to go to Costco, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go to Costco. Yeah, what do you need? Right, no problem. If I ask my kids, hey, do you guys want to go to the grocery store? Not really. Do you want to go to Walmart? Do you want to go to Costco? Yeah, let's go to Costco, right? Like there's just something there that they have a little bit of something for everyone, and typically, no doubt, it's the little treat at the end that the kids get, whether it's ice cream or a hot dog or whatever, and it's cheap, right? Like it's so cheap where you can justify that little treat at the end of the shopping experience, right? Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
They try to avoid me because I end up selling some things. But then certain things, like she's like, we're here at grocery shop. So if you're going to do that other thing, it's got to be in this time frame.
Right. Right, for sure. So like if you go by yourself, how long would you spend at Costco? An hour.
Yeah, it depends if I see it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Well, I look at, today we're recording and it's August the 8th. And something I was thinking about this today and I'm like, I bet you they do that intentionally. Um, no doubt in the next few weeks, we're going to start seeing some Christmas things come onto their shelves, right? Do they already have stuff in the stores? Lego. Okay. It's gone. I know that it seems like Christmas is always the one that everybody gets focused in on because it's August and really here in Calgary and area it really feels like we really haven't had much of a summer. But I imagine they do that a little bit, bring it in a little bit early so that people like because for years every time something comes in, I'm taking a picture and I'm posting it like on Facebook or whatever. And the marketing that happens as a result of people like being in shock that there's a Christmas tree in August in the store no doubt is a marketing ploy for Costco as well. Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, the hoodie that you're wearing is a very popular item. I yeah, absolutely. Costco merch. Yeah, they do that. They do that every once in a while. Like I have those the matching sweats, but I didn't get the hoodies. I didn't see the hoodies. I'm sure I would have jumped all over it. I know, right? Okay. Yeah. Well, do you? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just bought our dog the pirate chickens. They're like $14 and they're huge and yeah, it's such a great deal. But no, I'm sure Tina we could talk about Costco all day. And I said this on the earlier podcast that I when my wife and I were looking at moving to Okotoks. I had lived here previously, and then there was no Costco at that time, and then moved back. And we're looking at houses. One of the things that helped solidify moving here sounds ridiculous was the fact that there was a Costco, and I probably have a lot less money in my bank account right now because Costco's so close and so convenient, but it is so nice, especially when you do have a family and you're buying things in bulk and things just the dollar certainly does go a lot further at Costco. So okay, you mentioned San Diego earlier. Like what was the point of that of you going to San Diego? Well, my best friend since I was 5, Helen, lives in San Diego, and she actually runs the USA Costco Lovers group. And so I flew down to see her, and we
basically went to 4 different Costco locations. We went through the car wash because I was so excited. I was like, oh, see what it's like to go through the car wash and have a chicken bake. So I've seen all of them in San Diego, but our family might be going to Taiwan. And I said, Dad, is there a Costco there? And there's 3 there.
Is there?
So yeah.
So there's car washes in the States. Costco has car washes.
Yeah, so I saw it first in Bellingham. And well, Helen and I saw it in Bellingham, and then her friend said, well, there's one in Poway in San Diego. And so we specifically drove there, and it is so fast. Like the number of cars that you see, like Costco somehow just gets the cars through. The car wash is really long. They've got a system for that too. So I'm super excited to see that.
Right. Well, there again, like if you have a grumpy husband that doesn't want to go shopping and doesn't want to go to Costco, he's going to I'll go get the car washed, honey. Right. That's probably what's going to happen. Right. So phenomenal. Yeah. No, it seems like they're always evolving too, right? There's always something new. There's something fresh, something to, just to keep you coming back. Because if it was the same thing every time, why would you do that? We like that queso dip. Do you like that queso dip?
Yeah, I like the queso dip.
The jalapeno one. Yeah. Cream cheese.
Not the jalapeno one, just the cheese one. But people also need to, like the e-commerce online. I bought there's some online only items. I bought this tough athletics dress that everybody keeps asking where I got it, and it's from Costco online. And like I said, the Instagram, I get to sneak peek and see what hot items are coming on there.
Right.
They post them.
Yeah.
Or it arrived in the East first and it's coming here. I also love that they support local too. So that's also neat. If you go travel, that you'll see the local brands, like in Calgary, Righteous Gelato or Twigs, like you see those local brands that started in our city, and then they'll expand out. I think that's cool too. Recently we had Mossify, and those are some guys that started that company in Markham, Ontario, and he started it in his garage with his friends. He was on Dragon's Den, and now he's like made it to Costco, and they're just super cool local Canadian people, and Costco will source those people and find those Canadian brands, and if they can sustain the Costco quantities, I think they get to give it a try.
For sure. No, that's amazing.
I'd love to be in the wheel of how Costco works in the background. Just my whole brain. I love the system, the organization, how it all rolls in. Like,
yeah,
it's a machine.
Have you seen any documentaries lately on Costco? Like, is there anything that's been released? No. Because
I would love to see the supply chain. I'd love to see how the buyers decide and how things come from, because I've heard that when things come from the depot, so things will land at the depot. That's how we know things are coming. We call and give them the item number, but things land at the depot. And I've heard that every day that depot is empty. Like it just comes in and then it goes to the warehouses, and just the warehouse, the merch managers, that's my favorite. They know like everything that's on the floor, but how they place things, and then how they replace things in the morning, what goes on the fence, what's going on the end caps. Like it just all boggles my mind.
Right. Yeah. Cause like, how do they place things? Like if I am selling like baby strollers, for example, and I want to push those baby strollers in Costco, do I pay a little bit extra to get exposure, or does Costco choose where they?
I assume that. I'm not sure. I think the merchandise manager has some discretion, like the staff do, or something new they might put up front. I know, let's say Fairlife, I know when that comes in, they put it at the front because they know it's just going to be gone. So I think based on sales, but I don't know any official, if you have to pay to be
up front.
What the deals
for sure.
What your package is.
Yeah. How do you feel that the tariffs and all those things are going to impact Costco shoppers or Costco products? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think is, we posted a link with all of the Canadian brands that are sold in Costco, but I think it depends on what people want when you're trying to give them the information on opinion, because it's, do you want 100% or do you want some of the product is sourced from Canada? But if you look at the Costco products, a lot of it is already Canadian, and they already went and resourced the products that you saw that you might not typically see that are Canadian. But you also can't, if we can't grow oranges in Canada, then it's going to be from the US, but I think they've brought them in from elsewhere. Like we've seen things come from, more Mexico.
Right. Yeah.
Mexican
Absolutely.
tomatoes, Canadian garlic. There was Canadian garlic that was in there.
Yeah.
But then it's disappeared because I don't know if they could keep up with the
demand.
So I think
Absolutely.
and you know what? I am so surprised how many Canadian brands come out of the East, like Tough Athletics, Mondetta, Lazy Pants, is from Lole, Bloom, Wake Chocolate, Rockology. Like all of these brands are all Canadian, and it's surprising to know that. And they started in a garage. Twigs is from Calgary, started in her kitchen. So I think Costco does a really good job at pivoting, which they also do when items are needed. Like in that article, I mentioned that when Calgary needed water with the water shortage, water was redirected here. When air purifiers needed to be in Grand Prairie, air purifiers were redirected, more stock that way. So they don't just let things sit. I think they're very proactive in what they're doing and how they decide it. So I'd love to just be in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a phenomenal company that's doing very well for themselves, but they're also, passing a lot of save-ons to the consumers as well, the members. And it's, something that I've been a member. I remember Price Club way back in the day, and then Costco bought them out and, completely transformed everything. So, but
I love my rebates, let me tell you.
I know it's kind of like it's awesome, but then if you actually start doing the math, it's just like, holy boy, that's a lot of money.
Don't do that.
So, Tina, thank you for your service to us Costco members. All your links to your Facebook, TikTok, Instagram will be on the podcast as well. The person just needs to scroll down just to look, and if they want to connect with you on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I look forward to meeting you face to face one day, Tina.
Great. Well, I'm coming to Okotoks, so I'll let you know when I come. Maybe
awesome.
This weekend.
And I will let you know is it hell of a good dip or is it haluva? Do some people say haluva?
I've never heard people say haluva, but it's like I just learned that it's not Adidas, it's Adidas.
Adidas, yeah.
Adidas.
Yeah, I know, and it's different. Every country says it differently too, right?
Yeah, but originally it was Adidas.
Is that right?
Also Takis and Takis.
Was that right? Okay. Yeah. Tomato.
Exactly.
So, Tina, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.